A woman goes on a date with a man and he's genuinely interested on her, he's very kind, is emotionally available, but the woman feels nothing. She's no longer able to feel her own emotions. She wasn't born that way. Something changed her. Hookup culture is not about casual sex. It's an intentional way to reprogram your brain for scarcity, because you are training your brain to detach from love. You are literally giving the instructions to your brain to live the worst life that you can live. And I don't care if you think that by having multiple sexual relationships, you're going to be more satisfied, more happy, and maybe even empowered, especially as a woman. Don't buy into the lies that they're telling you. A couple of years ago, I met a girl that was, a friend of mine. And I had never seen this girl before. I knew nothing about her. But from the very first moment I saw her, I immediately understood what kind of girl she was. And then I later found out that she worked at a place where, every man, every new employee, she would just sleep with that person. My brain immediately perceived that this girl was very different from me. My brain captured this thing in just a couple of seconds, and I immediately got detached from her because I knew inside, I don't know how, but I knew just for the way she behaved, for her appearance, that she was having that kind of life. And over time and with experience, I can tell you that you can tell when a girl is basically sleeping with multiple guys, because I believe that there's something that not only internally but also externally changes that person. Because when you start engaging in hookup culture, maybe not once but multiple times, and then it becomes a habit and it becomes part of your identity, it literally changes you from the inside out. From the outside, your facial features change because you kind of lose that innocence, that sense of awe, that sense of wonder that you have, because nothing excites you. Because when you meet a man, it's just another man. I will sleep with him. So you kind of lose the sense of genuine connection with that person, because the more you engage in this casual sex, the more you will lose this ability to actually enjoy a genuine relationship with someone. How did actually women end up behaving this way? The number one thing that pushed women into this promiscuity is the fact that we are conditioned from a very young age. I used to watch Netflix a lot. I remember that I watched, 13 Reasons Why, or even, Spanish TV series. And I always had this feeling of, oh my gosh, if all these girls, are having sexual relationships when they're young, there's something wrong with me. I'm not cool as these girls. And I used to feel so ashamed because I couldn't keep up with that, because I was very shy when I was younger and I didn't have a lot of friends, so I assumed that something was wrong with me. And this is very dangerous, because when you then get to a certain age and you start to get males' attention, they basically fill that void that all those TV series basically created, making you feel not enough. So when you get male's attention, you start to see, okay, now it's coming for me, and I should be doing all those things that, I see in TV series. Not only hookup culture, but, drinking. Research shows that when women drink too much, they tend to be more sexually open, and this is ultimately what will make you engage in these activities. The second point is that women have been brainwashed into thinking that modern women, modern feminism, and being free as a woman, being independent and being empowered actually means that you as a woman are free to sleep with whomever you want, which is true. I'm not saying don't have sex. We are all free human beings. What I'm saying is that there are consequences. So I'm telling you this because I myself never had someone that openly taught this to me. So I'm here because even if I help one of you, I just want you to know that there are consequences, and that maybe when you're very young you don't think of that. All those women telling you that sleeping with many men is empowerment are actually lying to you. And statistically, married couples are far happier than single people. If they're telling you that sleeping around is what will make you satisfied, they're lying. They're actually the devil. because they're not satisfied with their lives and they're trying to bring evil in your life. So don't believe what they're saying. They've never been loved in their life because maybe they didn't have a father or a role model. What do? They keep spreading this system that lacks of love, you know? They can't really see what's the problem of that because, you know, there's a serious lack of love, the guidance in your life. So they will ultimately keep repeating the same patterns, having multiple partners. And this is also very risky because, first of all, women are more exposed to, of course, natural consequences of having sex, which is getting pregnant. What's the result of that? When children are the natural consequence of a genuine relationship with a partner that you love, that child will grow in prosperity with the figure of a mom, of a father. They will not be suffering from any lack of love. So they won't be perpetuating that system. A single mother who grows a daughter, this is incredibly hard. And this daughter has a weak point because she doesn't have a father. So she's more likely to seek male's attention even when she's very young. And if she's used to seeing multiple men with her mother, she'll be much more likely to seek male's attention, you know, and to engage in hookup culture. One of the biggest causes of hookup culture is the propaganda on the 60s with the abortion pill, which ultimately made it even easier for women to have multiple sexual relationships because of the pill, right? Now, I'm not against the pill, but this doesn't even mean that a woman's freedom equals sleeping with multiple men. Another point is that most women do it because they see other women doing it and they think that is normal. And often the message is, if everyone's doing it, then it must be right. I should just do it. And this is what most of the teenage girls would do if they didn't have, you know, a role model teaching them. Everyone is doing it is not a good argument. If everyone is doing it, it is not the right way. It will never be the right way. Now, here's the consequences of hookup culture on women. Apart from pregnancy, that there's an emotional burden because once these women are used to sleeping around with other men, these women basically no longer feel emotional bonding. There's even a very important sexual difference that makes women weaker than men from this point of view. When a woman orgasms, you know, there's a very emotional and strong bonding which is created. Women basically release oxytocin. This is how we are designed naturally, whereas men, first of all, they produce a high amount of sperm. They produce oxytocin only when they are having sex with the woman that they love. Women will always lose this battle because they will lose emotionally, they will lose physically, because we know that women are much more sensitive than men and we get many infections. Women lose because they lose their ability to engage in true and genuine relationships and they become apathetic about everything. Nothing excites them anymore. They are even emotionally numb, they're detached from life, they're detached from true values, and they end up alone and with very low self-esteem because you're basically giving yourself to anyone. When you have a house, you just don't let anyone in, right? Your body is literally your temple. Another consequence, as I said, is your face, your innocence, your beauty will inevitably fade away because you will look like, you know, a porn actress, which, you know, everything suggests, rather than a true caring woman that is ready to support you and love you forever. My intention here is to help young women who may feel lost or maybe don't have a guidance and don't know what's the right thing to do. If someone shared this knowledge with me, it would have definitely made a difference. I want to help you and share how things actually are, and I want to prevent at all costs you feeling an object, because men will take advantage of you, because men look for the physical act. But the more you say no, the more a man actually goes after you. Always ask, what's your intention with me? Don't engage in relationships and sexual relationships without knowing the intention of the other person. Thank you guys for watching this video. I will be more than happy to answer to your comments. Let me know if there's a topic that interests you, and see you in my next video.